Karla Mosley, it is so nice to see you. How have you been?
I'm wonderful. I'm better now. It's just great to see your face.
Great to
Uh,
see yours.
yeah, been having babies and making things and all as well.
It's like that comedian. Unless you've made people, don't talk to me.
Oh my gosh, I love that comedian, whoever you are.
How is motherhood?
It's great. It's
Awesome.
wild. The adding the second in, we're 8 months, just about 8 months in, and
Wow.
that was tough. It was tough, but just in that, it's like a whole other person to contend with. It's like two not fully formed beings
Right.
usher through the world.
Well,
Um,
congratulations. The photos look beautiful. It's always nice to see your posts.
like,
So tell me about Killer Chair Mom. Chair Mom. How
deadly,
deadly Chair Mom.
same world.
Almost had that. We've seen movies like this before, set in the cheerleading world and how cutthroat it is. This movie that I've seen seems to take it to another level on a lot of different ways. First of all, tell me about deep fake, which I think we've all heard about and seen examples of, but what exactly is that for people not familiar with it?
Yeah, it's a real thing where we have this technology now where you can take a video, for instance, something like this, and basically match whatever words you want to make it look like I or you are saying something that we're not saying. And then create a video that frames us, essentially, and some of them can be funny. You can use them for humor, but also
Right.
use it to incriminate someone, or misrepresent someone. And so that's what happens to one of the cheerleaders, to one of the girls in this movie.
So we can go back and fix it where I got the name of the movie right the first time. Just kidding.
You're right. Exactly.
There's some backstory with the moms in this where they had gone to high school together and they had been cheerleaders together. Can you talk about that part of your character and how that, in a sense, that your character's reliving some of what she went through with her daughter?
hmm Yeah. So my character's name is Marisol. My daughter is in school with Beth, who is the cheerleading captain, and I went to school with Beth's mother, who's played by the wonderful Mina Suvari from American Beauty, American Pie. So we have a rivalry that stems from high school, and now she is she's her daughter's the captain. She's made her daughter the captain of the team. She is the coach, and I feel that I've been wronged, that I should be in that position, and that my daughter should be captain. So it's like we're playing out these things from our childhood on an adult stage.
Do you think that's common? Do you have memories from high school or people you're still in touch with, and do certain themes play out in your life, either good or bad?
I think that we, as parents, need to watch ourselves, and to make sure that we're healed so that we're not passing things on to our children. That, and I can even see it in my own mom. We all go through it, right? Like we have the things with our parents that we're like, oh, why are you doing that? But, sometimes my mom will hold certain grudges that I just don't hold. And I'm like, why do you care about that? And I can see, oh, that's something that happened to you when you were a kid. So you're worried that I'm going to be hurt by it, or you're worried that I'm going to, be somehow affected by it. And so you're trying to like protect Mama Bear around me. Even to this day, she does it. She just left. She was just here, and it's the same thing.
That's great.
Yeah, but so there's a loving, laughable version of that, and then there's the extreme
Correct.
version.
Then there's the sit down on the sofa and tell me all about it version.
Exactly.
I don't know a lot about the cheerleading world, but it seemed to be very authentic. Like I would not be surprised to learn that they had some experts in there kind of going over things with everybody about just how perfect to make those cheers.
Oh yeah. They brought in a choreographer, and the girls were great and so game, and I think it looks great.
There's tension throughout this entire movie. Like you cannot turn away. It really grips you, and you have to stay until the end. It's like the first few minutes of a procedural. Where like, oh wow, I've just met these folks, but I need to know how this ends.
Fabulous. Yeah, I mean, that's really what we were trying to create. And our director, our whole team was just knew how to lead the ship. And then I think we all took it very seriously as well. You know, I love working with all of the actors on this film. You never know. Thankfully, I've never had a bad experience, and I just expect that my whole career will be that way. But, you know, everyone was game to really talk about what we were doing, to make sure that everything was grounded and made sense, to make any changes that we needed to make sure that we were telling the story in the best way possible.
Without giving the ending away, I could see that there could be a sequel to this, where some things that may or may not be unresolved could be revisited. Do you see what I mean by that?
I do, because there are, you know, students who are still around, and
Yep.
people who are, you know, still lurking, and those resentments are still there. The moms are still around, so I like that you're.
I'm always thinking sequel, and yeah, they could introduce not referred to before siblings, younger siblings coming up, and then the whole power dynamic could shift again.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, next week is the 35th anniversary of The Bold and the Beautiful, and you were such a big part of that show and a groundbreaking storyline. Soaps have always been a bit ahead of the curve in introducing social issues, and we're seeing far more representation with diversity and backgrounds and other walks of life that will hopefully educate as well as entertain. And do you have memories of your time as Maya and what that storyline meant for people?
Yeah, I mean, I have forever memories of that story. In so many ways. One, that it was, you know, personally for me as an African American woman, to have the first really established Black family on The Bold and the Beautiful in its 35-year incarnation meant
That cast, by the way, your parents, your sister, what an incredible casting job they did.
Yeah, I still talk to all of them. Anna, Opa, Rain, I mean, just, you know, they're all flying as they should be because you Rome, of course, you know, it's just, everyone was just so talented, and yeah, so that meant so much to me. And then to be able to tell this story of a transgender woman disclosing to her partner, and being met with love, and the complicated feelings that came with that. You know, the scenes that I got to do with Lawrence, with, you know, Carter's character.
Oh, right.
We really were able to show many different sides of what a slice of what trans women go through in choosing to disclose, and the complications around that. And I think to just tell a very human, very real story, that certainly changed me, and I think has opened up doors for stories to be told by trans actors, which is the way that I feel they should be told, and part of the reason that I'm no longer playing Maya.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole big topic on, you know, proper casting. I mean, the whole, an actor's background is to learn how to play different people. So, and that's how it's been for so long. But yes, I also understand the desire to have authentic as possible representation.
Well, it's interesting because as soon as Brad came to me with the idea, I went to many friends and to Brad as well, and just said, here's my hesitation. I'm over the moon to tell this story, and here's my hesitation. And Brad really wanted to tell the story through the lens of someone who the audience already knew. So that
And liked.
Yeah, and liked. So that if there was an issue suddenly with this character, we have to ask ourselves, well, why? Why is there an issue? You know, and to really go through that process with the people on the show. So that's why it felt okay to me. But at a certain point, it just felt like, okay, this is no longer a role that I should be playing, one. And two, I think my playing it is actually limiting some of the stories that could be told. Because there was a sense of like, we don't want to break Rick and Maya up. We don't want to make them unhappy. Should we tell this story? Is it okay to tell this story? because there was a fear of backlash, because there was a fear, you know, whereas if you have a trans actor telling these stories, for trans writers writing the stories,
Right.
there's you know, there's storytelling that comes from a known life experience. I think it's helpful and important.
There's a same-sex couple on The Young and the Restless, and from what I've read online, the fan response is they are hesitant to see any conflict for the couple at all because they want to preserve this one slice of representation that they feel they have. Totally understandable. If there were multiple couples throughout the canvas, then there would be room for one couple to be happy, one to be in conflict. So it's a process. Let me ask
grateful
this.
for the steps that, you know, we were able to take, and excited for the ones to come.
Absolutely. I'll wrap up with where is Maya today? Is she over at Forrester International, where everyone seems to go, or is she in Los Angeles?
I think, well, it's interesting. Someone just asked me, you know, if there's what I believe the reason behind the split would be.
Yes. Well, it's Forrester International. That's the reason. You go to work at Forrester International, your marriage is over.
Yeah, you're never coming back.
I'm teasing. You have a better answer. Fire away.
But I also I personally think Rick messed up, because she was so in love with him, and it's so much for her. You know, I doubt that she would be leaving, or, you know, that there would be a shift for her. So I personally think maybe Rick stepped out, and yeah. So I, you know, maybe they were trying to work things out because of Lizzie and all of that. But I think she's probably also pursuing her own things in LA.
Sounds plausible to me, and I hope that someday we get to find out for real.
I hope so too.
Awesome. Karla Mosley, I think I have it. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It's really great to see you.
It's great seeing you as well. Take care.